from clay, a bird, and then breathe in it, and then it just flies away, like a living being. Number 3, it is given to him to prove his message. So these signs were given to the Anbiya to prove that their truthfulness, that they're coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because the people of the Anbiya, in many ayat in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions that they demand a sign from their own prophets. They say, Arina ayah, show us an ayah. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if Allah wills, He will show them that ayah. If not, it will delay them until other time, so they could believe. Or if they disbelieve, they will suffer the consequence of that disbelief. Number 4, it usually transcends the skills of the people of that time in particular. Just like I said, time of Isa alayhi salam, what was the skill, the most prominent skill of his time? It was actually medicine. So when you deal with medicine, you cure normal diseases that were available at that time. But no one at that time yet knew how to clear or basically heal specific diseases, or even bring the sight back to the blind, and let alone to bring the dead back to life. It's not even just a human being back to life. To create from clay, to create a shape of a bird, and you breathe in that clay and it flies in front of you alive, that is something they could not even believe that would happen. But Isa alayhi salam, he brought that to them, so they saw that. How about Musa alayhi salam? What was the skill of the time of Musa alayhi salam? His people in Egypt. What do you think they knew the most? It was magic. It was magic. If you study even the history of Egypt, they're all about magic, and they believe in all these kind of gods and all these kind of myths. So it's based on mythology, basically, of the Egyptian people. So Musa alayhi salam, he brought them something beyond that and over what they knew from the magic. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about the magic of the people of Musa alayhi salam. قال فَسَحَرُوا أَعْيُنَ النَّاسِ. So what they did, they put magic on the eyes of the people, like saying it's just like an optical illusion. People, they start seeing things that don't exist. And since it's an optical illusion, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made Musa bring that which is basic and obvious. Throw that stuff and we'll go and consume everything that is there. And that's what made these Sahara, the magicians themselves, to believe first, because they said this cannot be a work of a magician. Because we were the greatest magicians of Egypt. That cannot be the work of magic, it has to be the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they believed before they even know who was the God of Musa alayhi salam. And when it comes to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what was the skill of his people? Poetry, language. Basically, it was literacy. It means even though they could not read and could not actually write or even read, but when they speak the language, it was an art, the art of speaking the Arabic language. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought to them a book from the same words, the same letters that they used to compose poetry and words and speech. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought them miracle. And that is the Quran, the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then it is not this miracle, it is not the work of the messenger himself. It should be understood and known that the work of these miracles, these are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Basically, Allah azza wa jal is working through His Anbiya and Mursaleen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is working through the Anbiya and the Mursaleen. They're not actually, it's not their own personal work. So some people, they mistook that, like in the case of Isa alayhi salam, and they thought that Isa is the one who's bringing the dead back to life. He's the one who healing these sick and ill people, and that's why they consider him to be God, or at least has some sort of divinity. Wallahu a'lam. Next. Miracles come in one of 3 forms. Miracles usually come in one of 3 forms. Number 1, knowledge. Number 2, might and power. Number 3, sustenance and protection. In this case, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will provide for the Anbiya. How do we know that? We know this from the ayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-An'am, قُلْ لَا أَقُولُ لَكُمْ عِنْدِي خَزَائِنُ اللَّهِ وَلَا أَعْلَمُ الْغَيْبِ وَلَا أَقُولُ لَكُمْ إِنِّي مَلَكٌ إِنْ أَتَّبِعُ إِلَّا مَا يُوحَى إِلَيَّ. And the meaning of this ayah, the ayah mentioned the three actually signs of the miracles. قُلْ لَا أَقُولُ لَكُمْ عِنْدِي خَزَائِنُ اللَّهِ. The people of Mecca, they asked the Prophet ﷺ to do what? To bring them riches, to transfer the mountain into gold. So they want him to be rich. If you're a prophet, then why don't you become rich? How come you're not that rich? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided him sustenance and protection without even the need to have gold or silver or money in his hand. Allah is providing for him. Number 2, وَلَا أَعْلَمُ الْغَيْبِ, and I don't know the ghaib, the unseen. And that is the super knowledge that the people, they always admired and they looked for. So they ask about the past, history, and they want to know the future. So he said that I don't know the ghaib, but whatever I provide for you, I'm bringing it from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's a miracle. That he knew about something that people could not even comprehend from the past or even from the future. And the third, وَلَا أَقُولُ لَكُمْ إِنِّي مَلَكٌ, I'm not an angel. Because people, they perceive the angels to be powerful, to be strong. So he said, I'm not that angel who can make these supernatural phenomena without the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From this ayah we know that the miracles would come in one of these three forms. So it could be in a form of knowledge, ilm, that no one can have access to except for divine intervention from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 2, might and power, a miracle that is so powerful, in different way of course. And number 3, sustenance and protection provided to these anbiya. That's like we're going to see some circumstances we expect these anbiya to perish, but then they come out alive and they come out to surviving these circumstances. So let's talk about these now, these signs or these miracles. First of all, the miracle of knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about Isa alayhi salam, وَأُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِمَا تَأْكُلُونَ وَمَا تَدَّخِرُونَ فِي بُيُوتِكُمْ. One of his signs that he was able to declare to them, to the people, what they eat and what they store in their own houses. Imagine someone now tells you what exactly you have at home. Now, unless they have a surveillance camera there, but other than that, if they don't have access to your place and they know about what's going on there must be some way of knowing that. And this is for the Anbiya at that time, definitely coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Isa alayhi salam, he was able to tell the people what they have in their house, and what they store in their houses, and what they have eaten for dinner, for lunch, for whatever. And it's something like miraculous for them. Knowledge that he couldn't believe that a man would have access to. And we see this knowledge come in different forms as well. Knowing the past and future. So the Prophet ﷺ, when he used to bring all these stories of the past, even some of the people of Mecca, they asked the Prophet ﷺ exclusively to test him about specific stories from the past. Do you remember that story? Surah Al-Kahf. They asked the Prophet ﷺ about these young men who disappeared in the past, and the people, they say that they slept for hundreds of years and so on. Do you have knowledge about these people? The Prophet ﷺ, after some time, and he was himself tried because of that, Allah Azza wa Jalla has given him the knowledge, and we have it in Surah Al-Kahf right now. How about the future? Can you tell me something from the future the Prophet ﷺ had knowledge of? Ghulibatul Rum. The story of Ghulibatul Rum, when the Prophet ﷺ, he told them that after the battle of the Persians and the Romans, the Persians, they defeated the Romans. So the Mushrikeen, they were happy because the Persians are like them, they're pagans, they're polytheists. But the Romans were kind of people of the book. So that incited the Prophet ﷺ, but the Prophet, he told them and he informed them that they will win fi bid'i sinin, in few years. And it happened after some time, and indeed it happened. That's during the time of these people, during the time of Mecca.